think your margin for error for Quest is very small, though. So we'll see if they're up for the task.
Well, let's see what comes out of this one. TSM riding off of a victory off of Talon 2-0 just moments ago, riding into their next series versus Quest. And Quest on the other end, they have been playing earlier on as well. Just one series. They tied up versus Vivo Keatstars. Very long games. 59 minutes game 1, 58 minutes game 2. So they've definitely been stretching those games out one way or the other. They played they had the Medusa in game 1, and they had the TA, which they won with in game number 2. Vivo had very different types of drafts, but seems like TSM is also up to that trick with Brawl with the mid Dazzlator. I just love that.
The Dazzlator?
It's the you've been dazzlated.
True. We'll see. I thought it was a cosmetic, is it?
Could be.
I don't know.
I think it's just you've
making
been
it
dazzled, but
it turned into a Dazzlator, like the Desolator.
Could be. But
look at illusions again. I'm not crazy. The first time you summon illusions
with level 1. Okay.
They Riptide for no reason.
But it doesn't actually Riptide. It's just an animation.
Yeah. It's just really annoying for everyone's ears. Which is even better, honestly. Just tilt them.
They've been dazzled by the Naga.
It's like one of those bugs that are like harmless. Because I think the moment you skill Riptide, it stops doing that.
Thankfully, TI is in North America and not Australia. Sorry, Natty, but there are no harmless bugs in that place.
Oh, I was wondering where you were going with that.
DP versus Dazzle, I have to say. I will have to say this is the first time I see this matchup. Mainly because of the Dazzle and already getting a good start, despite not actually starting off with Poison Touch and having Shadow Wave level 1. Very low mana cost. Dazzle's mana pool is actually pretty decent, considering how much those spells on this hero do cost. The Poison Touch level 125 does just basically burn the hero out really fast. And you want to be able to sustain, you want to poke, you want to annoy, you don't want to go all in at like level 1 and then you're out of mana. So
yeah, versus ranged heroes, I don't think you'll ever steal the poison.
Yeah, especially versus ranged heroes, yeah.
But even versus melee, like sometimes, when you pull the wave back and you get 3 creeps on your melee, or 3 melees on your ranged rather, you can just heal bomb it and secure ranged creeps for the first wave, which is very valuable.
White Mon taking a bit of a beating in the top lane, but Tomato replying to Omar. Take a hit of your own as well with that Boundless Strike. But that CM does feel a bit soft versus these two, with the Tidehunter already having level 1 Gush, -3 armor. And it looks like they have a Blightstone on top of that as well. So Monkey King has 1 armor.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the coin flip of the Tidehunter winning lanes that he shouldn't. Like if you think about the Ursa, right, nowadays Tide does win that matchup, but a lot of that is contingent on the fact of, do you have a ranged 4 that can apply right clicks during the Gush, right? If that's the case, Tide is actually incredibly strong. This Whitemon, he could easily die here if he wants to get chased down.
Omar. Oh, he just needs 1 more hit and he's got it. Quest for the first blood.
You might just need to build a bit more mana on Toby to... I mean, Gush is a heavy mana commitment. And you see he does have the mana boots queued up here.
Yep.
In fact...
kind of need to have it, yeah.
Hoodwink is bringing out Mangoes, which I think he's going to use on the Tide. And I like that a lot, because it's going to make it so you can get to this mana boots without having to spend too much net worth.
Oh, they're going to go on a bar. Oh, nice bushwhack. Tomato might end up taking a lot of damage here, but still the Hoodwink will drop. And Tomato gets to keep his life intact. Toby.
I mean, that's honestly not that bad. If you are on the side of Quest. Especially if you can get these creeps back. Yeah, drag them back there for Toby. Very well played. Now you come back with full mana, full HP, and you're a bit low on the CM now. Like, you're going to have to pop some of your spells here.
Yeah, like how many times do you need to do a trade-off on top of a trade-off? You know where I'm going here to see what's going to be the end result of it. So in that perspective, yeah, Quest, the lane is in a good position for them. in the off lane, but also in the bottom lane. I haven't really touched upon this at all. It's not a very action-heavy lane with the Darkseer and the Spirit Breaker. The Darkseer
You're just going to freeze on a Naga, right?
Yeah, you should. You should aim for that, definitely, because of the Fortune's End, purging out Darkseer.
Yeah.
Can't use Iron Shell, and Ahri,
that's why
well,
all the action's going to be going on the top lane here. I mean, Tomato, he procs, but unfortunately, procking as a Monkey King and having to use your stun to get that proc really shuts down a lot of capability.
It's not super value, yeah.
I mean, he's going to go back to full HP, and he's doing fine this lane. Like, he's still beating Tide in net worth here. Tide got low from that exchange. So I'd say things are still okay for the Monkey King, but they're still by no means going to shut this Tide down, looks like. Even with a lane like Monkey King and CM, which is absurdly strong.
And Toby's very low, so he's just throwing Gush from a range as Omar being forced away by Tomato. 2 points in Jingu Mastery, so wants to level up with the damage department, not instead of the farming department with like maybe a value point in Tree Dance, maybe even max it out, forget Jingu, but he just wants to battle it out because you have Crystal Maiden, right? Which makes this a very brawly lane. It's exactly what you do. You Frostbite, you go in, Tomato loads up some Jingu stacks, already doing a decent amount of harass, even if they don't full-on kill somebody. Like, this is gonna hurt Quest a bit in the long run.
Yeah, it's mainly hurting because Toby just can't get his HP back at this point. And Tomato going double Wraith Band, which is pretty smart, actually, because he is playing versus a lot of minus armor. And kind of just, like, dealing with the best he can. Lane might get a little annoying when he gets to the arcane boots, but I think they're totally fine as top lane. Let's go back to the mid lane, because bottom lane, trust me, is going to be the most boring lane by far. Like, Naga doesn't really do much in the laning stage other than farm, especially with an Oracle. You could potentially do a lot, and that's a good go there. Looks like they're going for Tree Dance level 3.
Yep.
Or level 4, sorry, he got
level 4. Yeah, I think he just hit level 4 with that kill on the Tidehunter. So TSM getting a trade-off on top of the previous trade-off. Looks like they're in a bit of an advantage situation in the top lane, but Tide, again, he's going to return. However, it is getting harder. It is getting harder for this lane, and Omar might just die to that one singular Primal Spring jump from Tomato, and they're again loading up the stacks, but Tidehunter, he just TP'd in, and it looks like he's ready to go back to base if he didn't have that salve.
It's like on a knife's edge how this top lane could have went, and TSM totally swung this into their advantage now. I think it's almost nearly impossible to win this lane now.
No mercy whatsoever. Just every time Toby shows up, seems he's losing these trades. Still a 2v1 with this, even if CM is out of mana. He's just being a thorn on the side of this Tidehunter. But looking at mid, 6-minute runes about to spawn. Ahri's already here. Kari also making himself known, but unable to contest the bottom half. Unfortunate for them, the shield rune is on the top half of the map, but as that is happening, there's no support to help out Toby, and TSM punishes the Tidehunter yet again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And the thing about like this Oracle, right, and how it's good against Kasane's Darkseer, the moment the Oracle has to leave for these rune shenanigans, it's now going to be a free lane for Kasane.
Maybe another kill as well. Omar is low, Boundless Strike's available, but he's already under the tier 2 tower, but he's still going for a Tomato, getting juked around a little bit. Has the Jingu stacks up and tanking the damage. The tier 2 tower is dealing. He's still down, and they're also getting that Naga under the tower. TSM getting themselves a 2-for-2 trade-off. They lose the Monkey King, but they also lose the Naga on the other end.
Ports die, both carries die. Even trade, right?
Yep, and Dazzle leads the CS.
And back to you can't beat Dazzle mid.
Yeah.
DP is one of those heroes that you are known for being a strong laner, right? And I think one of the reasons why DP lost popularity is the fact that DP is not a universal hero. Ever since the universal patch came out, DP has been a lot less popular.
Yeah, we've come full circle now, Fear. It's all about the universal.
I mean, they forgot to nerf one of the universal heroes.
Noob's showing himself as they are 4 versus 1, and it's a real hate squad, yeah.
That was a great rotation by Noob. That was so good. Like, imagine you're this Monkey King, right? And you, by 2 Wraith Bands. You're on a killing
Look at
spree.
bottom. But they're not done yet. They might just make it even more worth with Ari having to force the charge. The slow there, the bushwhack does connect, and a second kill. So go ahead, Fear.
That one's whatever, because you're losing your Tide top, and you actually don't even kill the tier 1 tower there.
Well, they do actually lose the Tide. That is true.
So I would say that's actually worth it for TSM. They brought a lot of heroes bottom.
But yeah, the Monkey King, he just literally TP'd into the lane. He had teleport cooldown, so you can see he's tree dancing his way back to the lane, slowly but surely.
Yeah, as I was saying, he just bought a full treads on Queer. Got him. The moment he got him, he just died twice.
Slows it there. Nice little quick fortunes. And even the Monkey ult. Yeah, they're trying to get to him, but the disarm is there. And
the charge
Ari
is
will
there.
connect the charge onto the Oracle. Noob is also around, but so is the Dazzle. And they will finish off Oracle. Noob can't help him out. Nothing he can do with no exorcism.
And Whitemon's level 6, though. That is... I mean, no boots. I mean, I think the boots are coming, right? I don't know, but... He, level 6 at 8 minutes is... 6.5 is really good. So if he does have freezing field available, this Tomato is going to perch on the tree line there.
Yeah, not to think about the Earth Spirit we saw earlier on today. Hit level 4 at 12 minutes. It's like completely different.
If that happens, you already know you're having a rough game, but...
You got a 4 versus 1 situation coming up on Toby. Can they kill him a 4th time inside 10 minutes?
Yeah, he's 100% dead, I'd say. Unless people mass TP for him now.
He has Ravage now. He levels it up, but nobody's coming to the rescue. They're like, well, Toby, create as much space as you can. So he'll do a defensive Ravage and forces them out.
I didn't expect that. Maybe it's fine to just use a Ravage like that. It would have been nice to use that Ravage with an Exorcism that is coming back in like 18 seconds, but removing that play means DP is going to maybe have to use it. I don't think he can use it mid lane. I think they're just going to have to chill. I don't think the next Exorcism is going to be too fruitful here.
Not exactly, but they are softening up that mid-tier 1 tower, forcing TSM to come back to save it. Quest in force in the mid lane. While TI12 has that Midas up, just chilling. Probably has Mr. Dahao just standing right behind him, watching his every single move as the carry player for the team for Quest. But TSM to Sonic will be looking to go down here. Exo for a kill. Only better than Exo for a tower, as it is level 1.
And they're going to smoke and what? Well, that's the big
Try
question.
to connect back the mids. You know, they're making long moves with Quest. They TP bottom, smoke up straight to mid, get there as fast as possible. Do they go for a fight? Good question. Doesn't look like it is. See the ghosts coming in. They do news around the area. Looks like it's just a classic D push.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to stay bottom because Naga's going to farm that out anyway. He just has to go back mid, and TSM read that as well. Like, yeah, he's not going to sit bottom with Exo running. He's not hitting our tower, right? And he's not pushing bot. What could he be doing? But Noob, I like his itemization. I think this is something that does allow DP to look better. It's just going for that Atos. I think it seems it's like the DP item nowadays. It used to be Yules, then it was just BKB Rush. Been a lot of different DP builds throughout the times, but both those builds aren't super strong right now, so just gotta go for an item that kind of helps you catch heroes right now. Because they are limited on catch, right? I talked about before, Hoodwink, not really a catch hero. Oracle, not really a catch hero. Double charge, though.
Yeah, that's something that they can look at here for Kaori. The Oracle does have to force out the false promise. Pumping in those heals, he might be able to survive Bushwhack there to get the distance, but Whitemon coming from the side, and this Oracle didn't really get too much healing out from the Purifying Flames. He has been purified by TSM. And they're not done yet. Maybe they could find Omar or Ari, not in vision for charge.
TSM pastors or what? How do they have the right to purify people? TSM or the priest.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, or how they say it.
I see. All right, so Kasane is actually joining up in the mid lane now because he just finished his mech. Going for that early Greaves, which I think is going to be necessary in a game like this when you're playing versus DP. Got to get out of that silence. Also will help you versus Naga. This hero loves building. Well, I guess they're going to kill the stray Whitemon. Whitemon down.
Whitemon stray.
He's been purified.
Well, he has certainly. But this game is somewhat fairly even in terms of farm. At least we've got the good old Naga leading net worth as expected. Everybody else doing as they're expected to. Kasane with his Darks here, especially top net worth for TSM for the time being. Even he has been killed once. He's closing up. Actually, I think he has his Guardian Greaves ready. Recipes on the Courier, yes, sir.
And this is classic TA2000, just farming simulator. I never had a doubt in my mind this guy.
Another exorcism for a kill.
Okay,
but
that's
this one's
wild,
not
that's a big
support.
one.
This is an actual Dazzle core kill.
And it
is a pretty good
has
one.
a transition point to the mid lane push too. These are the exorcisms you want to hit.
Roaring at Toby for the loss of their comrade. That Dazzle is down, but Toby, he's got the Ravage, so they can't really just jump on Quest, even if they bring in the numbers. Glyph will buy some time, but that's a fresh rod. They're going to catch the Spirit Breaker, and they will secure the kill with the Ravage. Make sure that they will get this one. But they can't get the tower, can they? Noob, what's the forward and right click? Oh, he's got it. Calculated. Spirit's still flying.
I mean, Noob has got 3,000 gold now, and BKB is on the horizon here. Honestly, having a great game on this Death Prophet. I was a little afraid of what he'd be able to do, but every exo he's popped has been... He killed the Monkey King, almost got the tower, went bottom, killed the Darkseer. Now he used another exo, killed mid, so he's killed every single core so far with the exos that have been popped.
Yep. Not a single wasted one so far, so that's a great start for him. 6-0 on this Death Prophet.
And TA2000, 165 CS at 14 minutes right now, with a Midas on the Naga. I had no doubts that he would be super farmed, but it's more of the question, what can he do with this farm?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's just one of those things as well about TA2000. Like, no matter what the game is, I still feel like his farming pace always manages to beat me somehow.
Yeah, he's probably the fastest farmer in the game.
Targeted by some nukes here, but they're not going to kill him exactly.
T2000's like the new RTZ of old with farm speed, I would say.
That's a lot said from you as well. So better take it as it is. Yeah.
I mean, RTZ doesn't play that way anymore. It's just.
It's also true. I mean, I was going through like TI all-time records basically, and I see RTZ's name popping up a fair amount in the player tables. For example, if we
man likes to take creeps.
Yep, and he likes to take creeps away from his opponents because RTZ is #1 in denies. So that's something that stuck to my mind. Like, wow, he's denied 2,500 creeps from group stage and the main event. This Naga has 8, so TA2000 got a bit of ways to go into there, but we are looking at the top lane and a fight to break loose. Toby, 13 seconds till the Ravage is up, and they need to save him for the time being. Exorcism being popped as well. Dazzle dropping low Brile. He doesn't have Shallow Grave, and he's going to go down. Kaori snipes him with the Purifying Flames, and White Mon, no TP for you. That's a double snipe for the Oracle, and a support getting the double.
See, that's what happens when you get older, T-Panda. Like, when you're younger, you only think about yourself, right, in your own farm. You get older, you start thinking a bit more logically and taking... I guess when you're older, you don't think about taking things from other people. But you start thinking more about the team, you know?
You're talking about experience, you know? Dad gamer life.
There you go.
Talking about
RTZ's too much of a team player nowadays.
Question, is RTZ a dad? Is he a dad gamer?
I think do you consider people who have dogs dads? I think he has a dog or a cat or something.
Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. But he's not playing in this game.
He is not. You are right.
We have all the other North American hopefuls, you know, like the British Ari, for example. I like to say, like, you remember when we interviewed Ari earlier on this year? I think it was
Which one?
The first tour when we were still like, who is this guy? Basically talked about like you are the flagship of the UK Dota. All the UK Dota fans out there, you know, staying up all night long, or if you're already in Seattle, still evening time there for you guys. But basically, like, are you the flagship of the future UK Dota? Because we've got like the Atlantics, we had the School Pool Bully Tanners. And he was like, he kind of just dodged the question. He's like, I don't feel like I'm a flagship of anything. I'm just, looking to perfect my game, get
That's
better.
Dota player mentality.
Yeah,
They don't care about that stuff. It's just
they don't
just
care
wanna
about
play the game.
titles until they win something huge.
Yeah, and then they become irrelevant and then they live in the past. You know what I mean?
That can also happen. But I like to, like, this is no bias, but Ari with his nickname, as he's charging towards the top lane to hunt down Kaori and maybe get a bit of vengeance off of this Oracle with the help of Kasane. It's going to take them a bit of time and effort, but slowly but surely, trial for the snipe.
It's an Aghanim's right there.
Yep, takes the kill for himself. Ari, I'd like to consider him as an honorary Finn because Ari, aka Ari, is a very common Finnish first name.
Thanks for
It's
the
just
history
not
lesson
Ari,
there.
it's Ari.
I'm sure he feels the same way.
He definitely does. But yeah, Agdazzle.
Yeah, does a lot of damage. Pretty good. I mean, Browse had a pretty slow game compared to... I mean, I guess his Ogre game was pretty slow too, unlike his Ricky game where he was explosive. This game is like in between the Ogre game and the Ricky game. It's just having an okay game right now. That kind of goes for everyone for TSM right now. It's a little surprising that the net worth is only 1K in the favor of Quest, just like how things are going.
Double Midas building up on their side as well.
Yeah, I mean, you just have TI12, the Midas. This man actually has a heart pretty soon.
Yeah.
He is so farmed, actually, but kudos for Tomato for keeping up on his Monkey King here. But this might be a huge timing. I wonder when it will be for TA2000. I would imagine he either starts getting active with his heart, or he waits for the butterfly and then just goes full fight mode.
Oh, they found the Death Prophet, but is it the kill that they can get? Oh, yeah. Certainly this they can.
But Tomato.
The level 15 Monkey King showing up out of nowhere. So Noob still building that late Midas, gets surprised by TSM. And that's a big streak as well for the Monkey King. Pushes himself into second place in net worth and straight back to farm.
And also, I think it might be big. Building that Midas, that might be a big mistake.
It could be.
For the side of this Death Prophet, I think... All right, they're going to get one kill here.
It's White Mon. So
I think if you are playing this DP, you want to buy yourself a plate mail right now and be a bit more tanky, or a Lincoln so you don't get charged. I'm not so sure if this Midas is the route to go, because you're going to throw off the timings of this Naga. Because you're going to be having a Midas, like, I want to chill out now. Then 3 minutes from now, Naga's going to be 5 slotted. Be like, all right, let's go, guys. And like, I can't really frontline anymore because I've got a Midas.
Oh, they're trying to catch. Oh, they got the Monkey King.
Can he eat it? Oh,
yes, he
beautiful.
Can. Tree destroyed. Monkey King spotted, and they will pay back as they did lose one hero before. They will get him. I mean,
he may have lived if he BKB'd actually, because he was getting healed by the Oracle. But either way, they get him. Beautiful play by TA2000 there. Knew exactly which tree he jumped on, punished him, and you're going to see TA2000 start to get a little more aggressive right now, but I think the moment he gets Butterfly is when they're just going to go all out. And they kind of need to, right? Because they can't just farm forever on Naga.
I feel the same thing, yeah. Like, you can't just farm forever on Quest. I also felt like, I mean, I can see a reasoning for the Midas to some extent, but you're absolutely right. It does hinder TA2000. And when you said, like, he's going to start to get a little bit more, like, aggressive, almost like he's going to get a bit annoyed. Like, why do you have Midas, guys? We're supposed to do things.
It's an interesting choice. It's not a choice that I think is particularly correct, but if they have an idea how to make it work, I could be convinced otherwise. But if they just start charging in and DP dies, and if potentially could have lived if she bought some survivability items, then that's when it becomes a mistake. But if they have an idea of just throwing TA2000 in first, not going first with Noob, because we saw in that last fight, Noob can't frontline right now. He does not have the items to do so. But if TA2000 does it, and then you're just kind of like in the meanwhile being like a backup contingency plan for the game in case this Naga feels like she can't carry the game, now you're keeping your net worth up and available. So it's a hard call to make, but they've made the choice, and they'll just have to play it the way that it's being played out.
Also, what I'm a bit curious about here is like when you have this Dazzle in the game that can pick up the shard at any stage of the game against the Snaga Siren, and you still build a Manta. If obviously the best case scenario for Dazzle is you use Mirror Image, you use Manta, and then you just purge everything away with a Poison Touch. But is this like, I mean, you obviously still need the Manta for like farming, the extra damage output, the dispels. It's like your cheap Satanic that also allows you to farm and push and do damage. But doesn't this Dazzle just look really good this game when you're looking at this Naga? Like, no matter what stage of the game it's going to be, because of how strong this cheap 1400 gold shard is going to be on a Dazzle.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be good. Like, I think going for the Manta first is correct, because if you get silenced or Ned, you're just going to die, right? So keep yourself alive first before you start worrying about killing your opponents. That's a safe way to do it. So I'll never disagree with people going the safe route, as long as it's not, like...
Too safe.
Yeah, too safe, I guess that's the best way of putting it. But I think Manta on a Universal Hero, never wrong. It has a lot of uses this game. Maybe you consider the shard afterwards, unless, let's see, we got any heroes that would do the Tormentor. So we already got one. Nah, I mean, they can't rely on it. They only have one shard, and it's on the Spear Breaker. And that's from the Tormentor, so nobody's buying shards.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be a necessity, at least. There is a Tormentor to be picked up on the side of Quest. Not sure if the Reign of Destiny for the Oracle would be the one that they're hoping to pick up. Like, DP has a pretty good one, especially we talked about the chase and the catch. You mentioned Hoodwink isn't exactly your way of necessarily catching opponents or chasing opponents. It's good. It's decent enough to get the job done, but it's not a reliable stun exactly. But if you do get that, you get a nice connection with the fear from the Spirit Siphon that the DP has, which I think is great. But I haven't really seen too many Tidehunter shards with this new Dead on the Water. I haven't really seen that too much in action.
Oh, I've seen a lot of them. That spell is super good. And this particular game, it's not as good, but it's still pretty good. Because, like, if you throw it on Monkey King, for example, right? He's going to be leashed and slowed, which means he can't use his Tree Dance. And then this is a hero that doesn't really want to hit the anchor, right? He wants to get stacks and then do his damage because his attack speed isn't great. So I think that'll be super annoying to play against as a Monkey King. It's not the best game for the Dead in the Water. They should just call it Anchor.
Yeah, the Anchor, you know.
They should call it Anchor Smash.
It's like the Undying Tombstone. It's just called Grab Ally.
I guess they can't call it Anchor because he already has an anchor.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He has an Anchor Smash and you have an Anchor.
It'll be Anchor Throw, Anchor Smash.
We could just call it the Leash, you know. Easy way out.
I mean, I always call it just, you know, they're anchored. You literally throw an anchor at them. It's sad that Anchor Smash exists. Because it's not always an Anchor Smash. Like, look what Tide uses right now. It's like a discarded sign smash.
Yep. Well, Quest, meanwhile, they're pushing the bottom lane. I was actually looking at the warding situation for both teams. It's a very, I mean, it's about to expire, but Whitemon plays the tier 2 tower in the bottom half of the map, which basically just covers a nice little cone. Very beautiful artsy cone there, but it doesn't really give too much information unless they were deciding to push that tower. And it probably was on their minds for a while with that, if the Aegis didn't go the way of Quest. Now they can't get there, and now it's going to be really far away to get to that objective.
And we're hitting that territory now where Butterfly is coming to a Dota game near you, and more specifically this Dota game, as he is super close to it. One thing about Hoodwink that is interesting that I just now thought about versus Spearbreaker is you buy an Aether Lens, right? And you buy a Yules with it, whatever it might be. You don't even need the Aether ones, but Scurry gives you 200 cast range, which works on Yules. So it gives you like this long range Yules cast, which maybe is their idea against the Spearbreaker. But he has a Shadow Blade now. And double
maybe a nice
Void Stone.
Neutral item on top of that as well. You know, these Yules out of nowhere. Like, where is this guy?
I mean, that's like their catch, right? I'm thinking they're gonna set up a Yules into a Bushwhack with like crazy cast range.
Also, hence the reason why Toby did have to build a Blink Dagger this game
Yeah,
very
of course.
early on. Like, we need something that's gonna disrupt TSM. There was a teleporting hero, there was a dazzle around the area, but he's already out. So no catch, and this Aegis looks like, for the time being, well, TI12 just soloing a tower. Finally getting targeted by TSM. Ari trying, yeah, it's still 2 minutes, so they can still force a fight with it, but he just soloed a tower in mid.
I don't know why, but I feel like time has just slowed down. Because okay, they actually caught Ari here.
Solo kill.
He
Got a
might
solo
die.
tower,
Yeah,
gets the
he's
solo
done.
kill with the help of Kaori, maybe even more.
Oh, there's the shard.
And the song. Oh, how many heroes do they have? It's just the two of them. They're gonna try and beat off.
I mean, they can't do
beat
anything.
Yamato here, but this might go the other way around. Trying his best here, and that Aegis is going to run out, but Toby coming in, and maybe that's the trick. Yes, it is. Kasane, though, beautiful wall, also going to get thrown into the Bushwhack. Nice heals coming in from Bryle, keeping him alive, and that's the Aegis gone, so he will somehow stay alive.
Oh, there's the anchor.
Yes, trying to get away, and it's not looking too good for Kasane. Can't get out, and he is done for. Meanwhile, the rest of Quest just diving tier 3 towers and trying to hunt for more kills, but TSM losing 3, and Quest, they got a ticket. They got a ticket entry.
Straight to the high ground they go here. And it makes you really think about, was it the right choice to just go onto this Naga? She had 2 minutes on the Aegis. I get the idea of why you might want to do it, but the price you pay for it is much too grave. Because, yeah, perhaps you put yourself in a position where if Tomato has 0.001 second reaction time and gets BKB off before the Ravage, you what? You kill the Naga for your BKB and ulti, but she has Aegis? I don't know. It's really high risk, low reward, and they got punished for it pretty hard in that scenario.
And TI12 is just relishing off of that situation because he got 2 of the kills. He got Ari, he got Kasane. He's closing 400 last hits in 27 minutes almost. So this pace is just, well, this is not dead worth. This is definitely not dead worth Naga. But TSM, they want to slow down Quest a little bit here. No exorcism for 15. Has a haste room though, and he's out of there. Bye-bye. No kill for TSM. Maybe kills for Quest as Omar tries to catch with the Bushwhack. Does get hit by the normal punch and also the vacuum, bringing him in.
You just need to back now if you're Quest. If you look at mid lane, it's getting cut by the Naga here. Top lane's not in a great position either. And bottom lane's also being pushed by Naga. So yeah, you get that kill. But by the time you get to any building, this Hoodwink is going to be alive again. And your lanes are going to be in a bad spot. So kills are nice.
They're doubling down on finding somebody here. And Toby's there.
That would be good. He's got a gem
there by Whitemon. And that gem could just be the one that they're looking for here. No Ravage for 10 seconds either. TI2000, the difference maker with the song.
Ravage in 5 seconds here.
They don't have the firepower to fight back. Meanwhile, Dazzle being 1v2ing here right now versus Kaori and versus Noob, and that exorcism starts to hurt. Ari coming into the rescue. They're going to help Bryle get away. TI2000 as well. He's surrounded by all 5 of them. Hit by the Boundless Strike, but Toby coming in with a big Ravage, but they just need to clean that out. TSM, they've got 2 from Quest, maybe even 3. Noobs on the run, and that is a turnaround TSM was hoping for. They are handed out 3 kills, a tier 2 tower. Hell, why not just go high ground and hit that tier 3 with this?
Kasane, the king of that fight there. He has Aghanim Scepter, punches him straight in the face, right? And then gets the wall off in a perfect position there. You're going to see here, watch this punch right to the face. That's one strong Naga. All of a sudden, now you have to walk across a wall that is just like stuck to the trees. You can't get out of this wall. Vacuumed back into it. Kasane the beast, that fight. He really made that fight happen.
A choke point to choke out Quest, baby, as Kaori falling in front of his fountain. They've already forced out the glyph on that tier 3 tower. Well, at least there's no creeps for the time being, and DP is about to come back up. 10 seconds for the Naga as well, so Bryle is going to have to let go of this push. But that was also a push towards TSM's economy.
definitely a big one. This Naga's starting to feel mortal. You see, if you can get the wall on it, if you get the normal punch, if Tomato can just get right into the middle of that. That was without Wukongs, by the way. So if there's an add of Wukongs on top of that, this Naga doesn't get much stronger, honestly. She's at that point where, yeah, you get one more item. They're going to use some
Oh,
sleep.
Song's going to miss, and Whitemon's also trying to move out and will be able to force Staff away, so that Song catches no one. No one at all.
Wonder what, it's not the biggest deal, though, because Exorcism's still down for another 30. Ravage is down for 45. So Song is going to come up around the same time Ravage is up with the Exorcism. So,
but I guess it also has a bit of a mental factor in a way when you look at it. Like, yeah, we just gave a lot to our opponents, and we're not even getting a small scrap after that. So it's a bit of mental damage.
Well, this is the point of the game when you're playing Naga. Sure, you only have like 2 deaths in this game, and I believe one of them was from the early game. So only one key critical death here. But in a game like this, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Like, this is one of those heroes that if you do die once in a position of power, it can just halt all momentum that your hero has in the game. And it's starting to feel a little bit like this Naga is becoming manageable. When their game plan is when you first pick a Naga, you have to find some way to make sure this hero can carry the game. And oftentimes, it doesn't really work. Because this isn't the type of hero, yeah, you can get farmed every game, but playing against the heroes you're playing against, you're not always going to be able to carry the game. This Dazzle alone, with one poison touch, can destroy most of your net worth. This Darkseer, we've seen what he can do. Even Whitemon in these fights, with this Crystal Maiden, can do a lot to you. Monkey King, he has the Aghanims. He almost has an MKB now on top of that as well. So he has tons of ways to deal with it. It's getting a little bit scary for TA2000 to be able to approach these team fights.
All goes back to Noob building the Midas. We had a good phase going, boys, but right now it's not looking too hot. And TSM, they know it. They're on the push here with a 4-man smoke, but they will reveal at least 2 of their heroes. So a bit of a warning sign for Quest.
Roshan will respawn, which means it's been in possible time frame it can spawn. Both teams know it is daytime, so we'll go bottom. And Toby, he broke and he blinked.
Toby was on the hunt and he did blink on top of a target, but can't see anyone. Doesn't have. Okay, he does actually have the gem.
He just doesn't want to use it on the Darkseer. He assumes Darkseer probably has buyback. He needs more.
Maybe the Dazzle. That could be a target that he could go for, but he pops the BKB. Hex turnaround. Tasane coming with a beautiful wall! And Toby gonna be forced away from the fight. Noob Soul's already low. Naga trying to sing for her life. The heal comes out from Kaori. The false promise as well. Naga should be able to survive.
They can re-engage. Like, there's no Wukongs now, no BKB, no wall. There's pretty much nothing left on TSM here, and you're gonna get full healed on the Naga.
So far away, and they're looking for the Spirit Breaker. Toby's ready with the Ravage, and he will drop it down. It will catch 3. It will catch 4 heroes, all except for the Darkseer. But no follow-up on that. No follow-up on that at all. Just a Ravage and reset. Nobody dies.
It's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah, T2000 don't want to put his hero into the fight. A little bit of miscommunication between TA2000 and Toby. Because, yeah, maybe you can just all in there if you are the Naga with the Ravage, but Naga didn't want to go, and Toby was like, it's time to go. A little bit unfortunate there, and that's going to give away the Roshan for sure. You did have a small window there where you could have probably fought that as Quest. There was no wall. There was no vacuum. There was no Wukongs. In fact, there was no BKBs either on the side of TSM, and you had Ravage available. Didn't make it happen, and TSM just kind of capitalized on that.
And now there's no Roshan either. A cheese for Braille and an Aegis for Tomato. TSM will welcome that with open arms. You go your way and we go our way with that Ravage. I'm like, yep, we're just going to take Roche. They've pinged out Kaori. Braille's not quite close enough to catch this Oracle. Still has vision on him. Also placed down wards right behind him. Meanwhile, the split from TSM down the bottom lane. They've got to clear out these Naga illusions as well. Kasane's there. Creating some Naga illusions of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Which also Riptide.
They do. but not as much as Nagas because.
Yep.
Wait, do they work on your attacks too? Probably not, right?
Probably not. That would be wild.
I don't know. It'd be wild.
Right click Darkseer build. Let's go.
Let's get a Moonshard if you play with Naga.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Just get Abyssal Blade, Butterfly, Moonshard on Darkseer, and we're good to go.
Universal hero.
Yeah, Universal Hero indeed. Tomato going to catch the Oracle. Does a great target with the 4-step save, pushing him away. Kasane dropping the back.
Oh, they used Exo.
They actually did drop back, so
okay, they got Bryle,
dead.
though. I didn't realize Bryle was there. What's Bryle doing that, guys? That's a little bit deep.
At least he didn't use cheese, but you're right.
Sure.
What was he doing there?
I think they were trying to flank there, but instead he got flanked. Surprise.
I'd be curious to see in a replay about his movements, because they were trying to converge towards bottom, right? But there's no tier 2 tower there.
I mean, he didn't get BKB off either.
Unless, but yeah, well, they actually spot Ari. Ari taking the Wisdom Rune, and now trying to make an escape for it, but he charged too short.
Yeah.
Wrong lane, brother.
Maybe you didn't see another. I mean, there's wave bottom. Just, you know, these things happen. You're in an intense moment.
Yeah.
You're playing for TI. Maybe you think you can get out like that. Maybe you feel like if you don't charge right away, you're not going to get charged off at all. Which it could be true, honestly. Life's hard, but he's dead.
That's one way to put it. Oh, what a grim storyline. But still, a storyline being written in this game. TSM that came from a 2-0 series victory from the last one. Still in charge of the economy. But are they in charge of the game? Because these fights seem to be going back and forth. The last one was also indecisive. It did allow TSM to take Roshan because there were no ults left on either side. And the 36 minutes into game number 1. The second last game of our first day here at the D stream. Hopefully everybody's been enjoying their time with the road to the international. Plenty of good games all over the place. So you are happening to watch this one. NA versus Europe. Always a coveted series, even though the teams are a little bit different.
Yeah. My NA team has 0 NA players. No, we got Bryle, just kidding.
No, we got Bryle.
Forgot about Bryle.
Plenty of nationalities also being represented in this year's TI.
Oh, most definitely.
I think we had like 28, if I remember correct.
I mean, we might not have a lot of players from North America at the tournament, but we got some of the best little players in the world, that's for sure.
That is for sure, yeah. You know,
we got all the best.
I was about to say we are proud of our region. I'm just a visitor, right?
Nah, you can be honorary. You've done your time.
Oh, I appreciate it. That means a lot to me here.
Yeah, no problem. A lot of Europeans make their way to North America as a retirement home. You can join.
It could be, maybe that's also ahead of me. Kari picking up the blink on an Oracle, which I really like to see.
That's good. That's really good. I mean, as far as this game goes, like, you do have Tomato. He's got a DD rune. He's got an Aegis. But the Aegis is going away in about 25 seconds here, so he's not going to be too happy about that one. I mean, he'll be happy to get his shreds back, I do suppose. But other than that, he will not be happy that he won't have 2 lives. But they are using this time to, I wouldn't say increase their gold lead, but keep it the same. But in a way, I think they actually are increasing their gold lead, right? Because like once Naga gets to the point where she has more money than she can spend, you're effectively winning in net worth. And that's kind of what's happening here. Like this Naga sitting at 5k, but maybe she can get rid of her power treads for, I would say, maybe a Silver Edge. That way you can just get in there with the Hex. You can kind of see she picked up the Trickster's Cloak as a way of doing that, but if you go for a Hex, you're kind of going for like that surprise, I want to kill you out of position. Silver Edge goes really well with that.
Well, at least one thing that TI12 probably is not looking forward to, but could set a record this game, is his last hits pace. Currently looking, the current record from this TI, from this first day even, is 977 last hits set by Smiling Knights from Thunder Awaken. in a 62-minute game versus Shopify, which Shopify ended up winning. So
Unlucky.
TI12 is currently at 600, so 300 more last hits to go.
Was he also playing Naga?
That was a Luna, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's all I see. It's all
they got
the
Hex
good
here.
caps, really. The roots there, but the grave is so.
Dude.
And Quest instantly. They're like, well, we tried.
This Dazzle's just too strong right now. You've got this 35,000 net worth Naga, and Dazzle's just like, I'm just going to press Q.
I have a 1400 item.
That's just
Wow.
any aggression. And like, if you look at it, it's like the biggest issue with this is normally it would be fine. All right, hold on. This, what? Where did Hoodwink go?
Solo
Excuse
killed
me.
by Ari.
This damage. Yasha Kaya online. I don't know why. I mean, Hoodwink only has 1,500 health, but that's a lot of damage. That is way too much damage.
40
Anyway.
minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes. Tier 4
Big.
items are coming out. We're going to pick up
Tier
some.
4 items.
There's some that are big enough. It's like, this is a game where Tidehunter, he's not like that big frontliner who can walk anywhere, right? He's
Yep.
just kind of like budget Tidehunter. He's just gonna get Ravage off of Blink. He bought some pipe force. He's got a force staff, right? And that's the issue with this game right now, where TA2000 is the only damage dealer. And he can't do damage because of the Dazzle.
Tower is under attack.
And if he commits his hero, then Kasane is going to turn him against himself, right? Then he's gonna die.
Well, stun duration doesn't. I don't think stun duration has diminishing returns. So that 20% debuff duration he's getting from the Timeless Relic is 0.48 seconds. So we could say half a second extra stun on the Ravage, making it almost a 3-second stun. So
Yeah, Dota has
Budget
never
or
had
not, it is
diminishing
nice.
returns on the stuns.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did that.
that would be something. But yeah, just directly added into that stun duration, which will be very nice to have a almost 3-second Ravage. And increase that at 25 for another 0.8 seconds. Get it even longer.
Saying a lot of numbers here. So
Yeah,
basically, you're
refresher.
saying he can stun him for a while.
Radiant's top
Yes.
tower is under attack.
Oh, okay. I'm following you now.
But it is a waiting game. Both teams know it as well, that the next team fight could dictate a lot in what direction this game is going for. TSM, they were the ones taking the last stages. Quest is going to try their luck this time, and it's an Aghanim's Blessing waiting. Talking about Ags as well. Not a single one built for Quest, so somebody's getting a freebie.
I think you give it
Well-
the Tide. Or Hoodwink. I don't know.
Well, a shard for Whitemon, but I'd take this Roshan above a Tormentor.
Give the Ags the Tide. Like, this Gush, I think, is much needed.
Let's see.
But they
he's
gave
got
it
the
to
cheese.
DP. Alright, I mean...
Noob has it, okay.
I mean, it's...
Extra spirits, extra
I want
damage.
I mean, that was my second choice. I just didn't want Naga to take it. That's all I know for sure.
Look at all reeling. Oh man, we were laughing at that so much. Like, I remember doing clip analysis for the first time I ever saw reeling, and we were just watching a clip where Naga's just reeling someone in. It's like, yeah, that's the highlight, guys. That was my analyst career. Thank you.
I mean, to be fair, it does increase cast range and go through debuff immunity, but yeah.
Yeah.
They don't, you
There's
also
some
can
nices there,
reel in.
folks. It's all about the reeling. Like,
Yeah.
no worries about the ensnare that it gets upgraded.
No, just you gotta focus on the memes first. That's what it's all about. Honestly, the reel in is not bad. Like, it's better than not having it. Like, if you look at what it does already, goes through Magic Community, that's good enough to consider buying it. Increased cast range is also great. The reel in is just like, I've seen some situations where you pull someone down to a low ground, you know, because like you don't want to commit with your hero.
Yep.
It's not
Talking
as
about
bad
high
as some
ground,
people
low
think.
ground, they found Kasane, and he's defenseless right now, but he pops the beat. Give me the force staff save from Whitemon just in time, so he gets distance, and they can turn it around. Maybe TI2000 pops the song, and they haven't used any BKBs really except
They got
for
X over
Kasane.
here.
They're
Alright,
looking to fight this one. Bryle has got his full set ready. Whitemon low on HP. Nice 3-man route from Kaori from the sidelines. And DP getting buffed up by this Oracle. Blink is still available. TI2000 on the side. Tomato gonna need some help. Got the BKB, got the stun connected onto Noob. Oh, Fortune's End coming out from Kaori, and Timato, he's got his cheese popped up, puts his boots back in,
Double
and
cheese.
TI12's going to lose the Aegis, but Noob, he's dropping low. He does get the full heal from the Fortune's End, but now his end is imminent as he's being chased by TSM, but Quest now coming in from the other side as well to try and retaliate, but Toby just walks in, gives them the gem, and TSM want more. They're hungry for blood. They want everyone to drop onto their feet as Ari Kasane leading the charge onto the T2000 Naga. Good night, goodbye. Here comes NA.
They're here, and they're going to be knocking on your front door here. As you do have buyback on Naga, but unfortunately, this is just another case of Naga. You're super farmed, but you can't play versus 5 counters. This hero just, I don't know, like we see this so much where this Naga just gets picked early because, yeah, no matter what, I'll do well in lane. No matter what, I'll get farmed. But it's not a situation where you're no matter what going to carry the game. And that's just what's happening right here, right now. TI2000 just can't carry the game with his first pick Naga. And they built a draft that is completely reliant on him carrying the game here. So it's a rough situation to be in, but unfortunately, I think Quest, they've ran out of steam. I don't think they can team fight anymore. They're going to respawn. They got no Exo for 54. They got no Ravage for 40 seconds. What can you
On
do?
the other hand, you've got a wall, you've got a Wukong's ready, you have a full fighting capability on the side of TSM. So Quest, you gotta conjure something miraculous here. Carry loses half of his HP to one singular charge from Ari, but he's gonna get anchored up by Toby, and they're working their way through this Spirit Breaker. But holy damn, he doesn't care. Kasane with the wall, with the back on 4, and Quest is on the retreat once again on TI2000. He sings as much as he can, keeps them on the spot. The root connects on 2. Can Quest still do it? Big Wukong's command runs out. Toby 2 seconds for the Ravage. He needs to pop it off. He's still silent. Lotus Orb. There we go. They've got everyone on TSM. Did they just overextend their visits? As they've lost Timato, and they might lose more, but Bryle's fighting back, neck and tooth and nail. He wants everything that he can throw towards Quest's general direction, and TI2000, he's gone for 2 minutes. Kaori next, and TSM. It was just a phase. It was just a quick phase where it looks like we might lose hope, but they never did. Ari with a double, Noob being surrounded by enemies. That's also him down, and GG. TSM will take game 1 away from Quest.
And TSM continues their streak of dominance here. I think this game was very hard to win.